Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Season 4 of How Can It Be with Allie Mickle and
Kara Johnson. It sucks that our last names don't match anymore.
I'm sorry. It's hard too because Cam's fresh out of brothers for you to marry.
Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna have a Mickle last name.
Yeah, you can't end up with Mickle.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's super hard.
Well, I wish he would have just kept Johnson, but like, it's fine.
Yeah, well, we can get in cahoots with Cam and see if maybe he wants to take on Johnson at the end of the day. We can say it's like for business purposes. We kind of need it for the podcast kind of a thing.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I'll let you know what he says about it. I'm sure it will go over well.
Did you know that Millie Bobby Brown changed her name
to Millie Bonnie Bon Jovi,
also known as Millie Bon Bon?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I actually just saw that as well.
Did you know that her name was actually originally Millie Bonnie Brown, and then she changed it to Millie Bobby Brown, and then she changed it back to Millie Bonnie Bon Jovi? The more you know.
We've been watching Stranger Things. Can you tell? It is scary. Anyways, if you're new here, this podcast is about none of that. Per usual. That happens to us sometimes, but it's totally okay. It's actually all about glorifying. It's all about glorifying God in the everyday good, the bad, and the in-between. And we start out every episode talking about literally nothing that makes any sense. But then we talk about the most wonderful thing ever. It's actually a person. It's actually God.
Love him. Anyway, so
and we just like to talk about little ways Jesus that we've seen Christ in our life the last week or so. And it's just like gets a little hard to know exactly how to say that line perfectly.
Yeah.
So sometimes I try to switch it up and then it just doesn't go so smooth.
Yeah, but those little things are called Jesus moments, and Kara gets to start. Yeah,
so Kara's gonna.
Allie needed a little help with her lines today, but that's fine. Sometimes we all need help. So anyway, here's my Jesus moment. And I would show you this picture that I have pulled up on my phone right now, but turns out it's a little gruesome, so I can't show it. It's of my knee. And here's a little backstory about my knee. If it's December right now, how many months ago was September? Too many. In September, I had
3 months.
A small little bug bite on my knee, which then I scraped or something, and then it got infected and had some sort of bacterial infection. I went to the urgent care. They gave me some antibiotic. It calmed it, but then ever since it will kind of flare up, flare down kind of thing. And I just have this big circle of purple on my knee now. So it's a little hard, and so I've been going to the dermatologist now to try to figure out what in the heck that is. And so they put me on this topical cream and this oral medication. Nothing changed, so I just went back this past week. And my Dr. Kevin, he's awesome, Kevin Myers, he took a little biopsy out of my knee, and I was a little sad that he had to do that because basically he had to hole punch my knee and take a little bit of that skin and then send it to get tested and then give it a little stitch. It's hard.
I wish I could go back to the beginning of this episode right now and say, Cam, my husband, don't listen to this episode. He's somewhere passed out at this time for sure if he's listening. Back to you.
Thanks. And thank you so much. I'm sorry to Cam. Sorry to any other listeners who also
get queasy about knees getting hole punched. Anyways, back to Kevin.
Thanks. Now, here's the thing. Kevin, very, very, very smart doctor. Very helpful. But sometimes even the Kevins in the world don't know all the answers.
That's hard.
And so after what we tried didn't work, he was like, the only way we're going to know is if we take a biopsy of it, send it to the lab to get tested out. Figured out, tested out. So now I'm currently in this waiting period of like waiting to hear what's going on my knee. I have stitches in my knee. It's been kind of annoying, but also totally fine because like trust in the process and such. Now you may be wondering, what's the gospel application to her story? Don't you fret. Here it comes. So lots of times in life, we may go to sources that are really smart and that give us good ideas for what to do. And it could be with like dietetics or kneecaps even. Gosh. And we can find maybe partial solutions, things that will help, and find like temporary answers of sorts. But when we need sure answers and when we really need to know what to do or what's causing something, professionals are the way to go. And then above professionals also.
Specialists.
Like, this is something really special, is that Jesus is like the most specialist kind of specialist. And if you think about as high up as you can go on the ladder of trying to get answers to something, Jesus is at the top. Because he actually knows all of the answers.
He does.
And so that's a little something special, is that when we're in need of answers and when we really need to know what's going on and how to fix painful, uncomfortable things in our lives, we can actually go to the most specialist of all, which is Jesus. And you're welcome for that.
And thank you so much, because that made me think of something super awesome when we were talking about specializing. Because listen to this quote that I can't remember anything about where I found it. It's just only check out this quote that's only just in my camera roll, only like this. But it says this: Jesus specializes in the impossible. Oh, whoa.
That's beautiful.
Also, what a great combination. I love putting Jesus next to a word like impossible, because I do think no two words go better together, because it is really like, okay. Oh, that's another awesome quote. I need to find it. It's like, okay.
There's a children's gospel song that I love that says something along the lines of, nothing is at all impossible with him.
Yeah.
And I know this, of all these miracles, the most incredible is the miracle that rescued you and me.
Yeah, that's so true. I can't find it, but it's a quote that's something like, show me your struggles and I'll show you my God, or something like that. And yeah. I just think that it is so true. It's kind of just like, it's like, literally so true. It's just kind of like, I love the idea that like the world could be like, here, I've got literally the best cards that any player could have, and you're losing. And then it's like, guess what? I actually have the trump card of all of everything. Show me your cards, I'll show you my God.
Oh. Yeah.
So I love that quote so much. Jesus specializes in the impossible, because nothing is impossible. Show him anything that you think is impossible and invite him into the situation, and you'll learn that impossible is only a word.
All right.
Thank you.
That was great.
Thank you so much.
That was incredible, one could say.
Okay, I'll talk about my Jesus moment, okay? I'm a little chilly right now. I'm feeling like I'm shaking in my boots. Okay, so last night, me and Cam and our friend Colton went and saw a movie, and it was called rental family. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 would recommend. It was literally so awesome. And the whole premise of the movie essentially is just talking about that, well, it's like not talking about anything, but like, you know, the movie is about this guy who goes to work for this like acting agency, and basically you get hired to do these acting jobs. And
you got this. I mean,
it's like I keep looking over at you and I can tell you're about to laugh, and so I'm like really trying to just like The whole premise is it's this guy that works for this acting company, and the company has people reach out. Literally stop doing that face. I can't even speak.
I mean,
the company has people reach out who need. You're the worst.
Why?
Every time. Imagine that when you were talking, I was like this.
I'm not doing that. One, I'm not doing that. And two, you're saying a bunch of words really weird right now, and I'm having a hard time with it, okay? But continue. You got this.
The movie is about this guy who works.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. It's really touching, too.
Okay, you got this.
He works for this company that hires on a bunch of actors to play as important positions and roles in other people's families.
Okay.
And so, like, you can hire one of these actors to come and play your dad. Or to come and play your girlfriend. Or to come and play your boss. Or to come and play, you know, like, whatever. Anyway, so it's basically just all about how this idea that, like, there's so many people that need people in their life, and it just follows these actors that work for this company as they go and
fill, like, temporary roles.
Fill these temporary roles, and it shows that life is so much more complicated and so much more complex than we give it credit to be. And people are so much more valuable than sometimes we allow them to be. And I think that what I loved so much about this movie is just this idea that, like, to God, we are not just a job that needs to be completed. We are people that need to be loved. And what you learn as you watch this movie is that the job is a lot more complicated than it seems. Because it seems like, oh, I'm just going to go play this little girl's dad for this interview she needs to do. Or, oh, I'm going to go play video games with this guy and he's going to pay me just to play video games with him. And you learn that, like, it's a lot harder for him to just let it be that. Because he wants to stick around and care for this girl who doesn't have a dad. And he wants to show up for this guy who needs somebody to play video games with. Because relationships are meant to be had and meant to be enjoyed and meant to flourish. And I think we learn that as we start to really explore a relationship with God. It's not just something that we're like, okay, I need God to be my God and my Father for this event, and that's it. It's like, no, I actually, after having him with me during this part of my life, I've learned I actually want him with me through all parts of my life.
Yeah.
And sometimes I want to run away from him, but at the end of the day, I actually would rather have him than not have him. And I actually think that I need him. So that's what the movie was about. Sorry that Kara ruined it all.
Wow. I don't really think of it the same way that you think about it.
It's all about perspective. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's all about perspective, and that's the truth about that.
Kara's searching something up on her phone that she has previously mentioned is not working so good. So we'll see if she can locate what she's looking for.
I believe in myself, and this is just the kind of thing where it's like, do you also believe in me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
here it is. I believe I might have talked about okay. I think I might have talked about this before. Nevertheless, have we talked about the 4 omnis of God before?
I don't know. Please just get into it.
Okay. Okay, so there are these 4 omnis of God, and it's words that start with omni. And it's...
I think that we have, but...
omnipotence, which means God is all-powerful. Omniscience, which means God is all-knowing, including the past, present, and future. Omnipresence, which means God is present everywhere at all times. And omnibenevolence, hard word, God is all good or all loving. And I've always thought it was so interesting that God can be all of these things at once, or that God can be something so stable and permanent, but also be everywhere. And I'm like, it's something that's hard to wrap my mind around. And the fact that he's present everywhere at all times, I mean, we just can't with our minds that we have right now understand what that looks like or what that means,
well,
you know?
If anything, we watched the movie The Santa Claus on Sunday.
Yeah.
And in the movie, they're talking about Santa Claus, and the parents are trying to convince the son that Santa Claus doesn't exist. And he's like, just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it isn't there. Seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing. And isn't that so true? It's like, if we learned anything, that's obviously true for God too. And I think that's what's so wonderful, is it goes so much further than just like the magic of Christmas, or like the idea of Santa Claus, or just something that we like the idea of. The truth is, the reason why there's so many people that believe in God is because belief in him allows you to find so much more evidence of the fact that he is a living God, and that he is real, and that he is present in all of our lives. And it takes sometimes that blind belief and the willingness within your heart to believe in something that you can't see and that doesn't make sense, and that you feel like maybe there's holes in the reasoning and the plot.
Yeah.
It takes that leap of faith and that hope, and then believing allows you to see.
And I feel like that's why I love our Jesus moments so much, is because they, like, we've said silly things before where like a heart on the ground is like, oh, that's Jesus in my life today, you know? But that's so many different forms and like representations, and people can remind us of Christ in our lives, and that he is everywhere and all around us. And I was having a crash out just like, I think yesterday, over exams and a terrible score that I got on a test, of course. And I was calling Mom, and I'm like sobbing on campus. And it gets to the point where like I can't keep walking because I like can't see anymore. And there's just like this random pole, and I just like go up to the pole and just like lean against the pole. And my mom's like, where are you? What are you leaning against? I'm like, I don't know, this random pole. And she's like, okay, really feeling worried about you. But
I'm feeling worried about you too, seeing as I spoke to you yesterday and I didn't know that any of this happened.
I cried from the hours of 7 p.m. to midnight yesterday, off and on.
That's super bad.
Yeah, but don't worry about it.
Back to your story.
Here we are nonetheless, so that's okay. Anyway, but in that moment, I was thinking about the pole and its ability to hold up not only what it was meant to hold up, which was like a whole covering thing, I don't know, but also me in that moment. And it's like steadfast and strong characteristics, and how God is steadfast and immovable and able to carry the heaviest load ever. But he's also not only right there in that pole when I need him, but he's also with me on my whole entire walk back home, and with me right now, and with me when I'm driving in my car. And that's where I'm like, the omnipresence is so interesting to me. And it's amazing that God can be so sure and so strong and so steadfast and immovable, and also be everywhere that we need him to be, and present in our lives in all moments.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just think that's a little beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's also a little beautiful. And I just think what's wonderful is that we have the promise of his omnipresence at all times of our life and through all phases of our life. Before we started filming, we were listening to a little song by somebody named Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
It's called You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home, kind of a thing. Okay? I just want to read a little bit from it, if you would not mind. Okay? Because when I'm feeling down and I'm all alone, whoa, I've always got a place where I can go. Because I know you can change your hair and you can change your clothes. You can change your mind. That's just the way it goes. You can say goodbye and you can say hello, but you'll always find your way back home. You can change your style. You can change your jeans. You can learn to fly, and you can chase your dreams. You can laugh and cry, but everybody knows you'll always find your way back home, where they know exactly who you are, where the real you is a superstar. You know it's never too far away. You'll always find your way back home. And I just want to say, the real you is a superstar. And if anybody can convince you of that, it's God, because he knows you, the real you. And you could change everything about yourself. You can decide that you love him that day. You can kneel down and plead with him and have a relationship with him. You can close the door on his face, change the color of your hair, say goodbye, and he will still be there. And he will be ready to welcome you back to the place that has stayed your home, regardless of how much you've changed. Your home will not, because he is your home.
And he knows exactly who you are.
And when you try to find your way back home, there's a great guide that you can find within the Savior who knows you and who can recognize every version of you, because he knows and loves every version of you enough that he died for every part of you, every version of you, every choice that you would make. And he wants whatever version of you to join him and come back home. And I just love that. It's silly, it's from Hannah Montana, but it's true. And that's what our whole podcast is about. We want to be able to connect the most wonderful and glorious, good God back into all of the random, happy, sad, good, bad, and in between things. We love him so very much, and we love you so very much. We just want to keep chatting about him with you forever, but we're just going to say, see ya for now. And we'll just kind of see you next time kind of a thing.
Yeah, so just try to make God an everyday topic this week, and remember that he loves you. so much.
Seriously, forever.
Anyway, bye.
Love ya. See ya.